We're going to get our next guest on. Our next guest is David Alexander from Brainstorm. Hi David, good to see you. Welcome.
Good morning. Hi.
Welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
It's a bit like streaming from a fishbowl, isn't it? But
it is
it's
a little
quite
bit,
good.
yes,
It keeps the sound down and it's working very well. For those who don't know, tell us a little bit about Brainstorm.
Okay.
And obviously, what are you guys talking about this year at NAB?
Well, let me just answer the first question about Brainstorm itself, because for those here in the US who perhaps don't know the name, Brainstorm Multimedia is a Spanish-based company, and although we have very much of an international reach, probably about 90% of our business is international. So right around the world we have systems installed with major broadcasters. And talking about systems as such, what we do is we do virtual studios and on-air graphic systems there. Which I'll mention in a bit more detail. But the other areas of our business are production services. So we provide, for example, for the BBC, we provide their election graphics, where we do a complete turnkey package from the design right through to the on-air play out there. And we also do OEM, so some of our core render engines, our software is inbuilt into products such as the Avid Motion Graphics, the AMG, which Avid has recently launched, which replaces their Deco systems there. So those four areas, virtual studios, on-air graphics, OEM and production services is really what we do, that's right,
So as far as NAB is concerned, it's always good to talk about specifics and new stuff that's coming out. Anything exciting with you guys?
Yes, we're over on the South Lower Hall, booth 10621. So, and what we're showing there, we've got a theatre presentation, and that theatre presentation is based on a virtual studio, which we call the Easy Set. And as the name implies, the product is relatively easy to set up, install, and most importantly to operate. And you don't need to have very sophisticated, highly experienced people behind it. It's a trackless system, which actually makes it easier to use. Trackless system means that there's no calibration, there's no encoding, and so on. We also have those systems, and we have that's actually where we come from, the highly complex, highly versatile, multi-camera tracking systems there. But you can start at, shall we say, our entry-level system, the EasySet 3D. So it's extremely high quality. It's based on the same core engine, which we call the eStudio. And the eStudio itself is the core engine across the whole platform of all our products there. And together with the EasySet 3D, the virtual studio creation application, which is what it is, which is the main theatre presentation, we have what we call On Demand. The On Demand is a play-out, a sophisticated play-out system. And so that actually allows us to enhance a virtual studio environment. Why? Because what we do is we're bringing in other elements. So for example, we'll bring in on-screen graphics. So for it could be for financial news, so there's information that comes up regarding the stock markets and so on there. CNBC, for example, is a client of ours which uses this sort of technology to great effect. It's the more sophisticated end where there's it's tracking, and the presenter can pull on graphics and pull off graphics. So we do it right up to the top end. But in what we're showing is the virtual studio environment together with, as I say, on-screen elements that it's all 3D, it's all real time. So you can have 3D elements coming flying in, they're behind or in front of the operator. So it is really a level of what is generally termed augmented reality. And so main theatre presentation, that's what that is. Then what we're actually showing, which is brand new here at NAB for the US market, is our Aston 3D. And Aston is a well-known brand, character generator brand, going back a long way. And Brainstorm bought Aston a couple of years back, and we're now launching the all-new Aston 3D and a family of products as well. Aston 3D, what it is, it's a graphic creation system, CG and playout. And it's typically used in very, very fast-moving news, sports, entertainment environments like that. and it can be a complete system, i.e. the design as well as through to the playout, which you might use in an OB application or a small station where you need to have everything all together, or in a larger environment, state broadcasters, where they have a graphic design center, so you simply have your design elements of the Aston 3D, and then elsewhere throughout the workflow you have different components of the system through to the playout there. All integrated within the Brainstorm framework, shall we say, and most importantly integrated within the rest of the framework of the companies.
Amazing. Is this available now for people to see?
It's deliverable now. We are shipping the first product very, very shortly. And it also represents, and I should emphasize this point, it represents a new generation of Brainstorm products there.
Right.
So the Brainstorm has always been recognized as having an extremely powerful render engine. The power behind that is used by companies like Reuters, NBC, I mentioned CNBC, BBC, NHK, Al Jazeera. We have a wide range of well-known clients who use the products. And what we're doing is marrying that power with, frankly, a much easier to use interface, where previously it was complicated to drive. Now we've built in a much friendlier user interface, so that more people with less experience can realize that power and take full advantage of it.
David, that's great. If people want to find you in the company, they're watching this, want to come and see you at the show, whereabouts are you again?
We're in the South Lower, and our stand is 10621. And we also have a range of other products such as Brain News, mentioned on demand. We have Brain Sports, so there's a lot to talk about everything. But there's an awful lot to see there. Excellent. And most importantly, it's very entertaining to see our theatre presentation. So please come and have a look at it.
David, thank you very much for coming on. It's
Pleasure.
Much appreciated. We'll send people down to come and see you. We'll pop around later and have a look ourselves. But in the meantime, David, thank you very much for coming on and letting us know what's going on. Thank you. Go and have a look. We've seen their virtual sets stuff in action before, and it is very impressive, I have to say. You can just stand there and watch it in awe sometimes of how well it works.